Hello once again. This is yet another video review from Moroni Prime. This is the fourth in a series of reviews that I'm doing on the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Bandai. These are a throwback to the original 1993 series because, so far as I can gather, Disney and Saban have pretty much ran out of ideas on how to keep the franchise alive and are going back to basics. So, yeah, that's pretty bad for Disney to run out of ideas. Well, anyway, this next review is going to be on the Pink Ranger, such as she is. Same scale as before, and for the most part, the same mold as was previously seen with the Yellow Ranger in my other review, with the exception of the Pink Ranger now finally having the skirt. Get her to stand up right there. Again, same butt print as before, 12909. Still not sure on its meaning. Some have speculated that it is in fact a serial number for the wave, but I have yet to get any sort of confirmation one way or another. Now the skirt is molded in a similar soft plastic to the weapons, but it is a little firmer of a plastic, so I don't think you'd have to worry about any stress marks or anything necessarily. However, this does, I have to say, limit the posability of the legs. They don't go out nearly as far in any direction at the hip joint, so that limits what you can do with the Pink Ranger here. Also of note is that she has the power bow, but she has no arrows, and even if she did, she wouldn't be able to have the articulation needed to bring the two hands together in order to fire the weapon anyhow. So I don't suppose it really matters. And again, just like with the rest of the Rangers, let's set her up right. With the rest of the Rangers, she again comes with this gold bird pack thing. Pink stripe on it to differentiate from the others. Still gold plastic syndrome, bad thing, don't break it. You know the drill. Putting that away now. And taking off the weapons so you can see the figure itself. Now, something I discovered with the Pink Ranger here, I have yet to check the other Rangers, but the head actually does seem to be on a ball joint, as you can see here. So if you like, you can have a collection of Ranger helmets, so far as I know. Again, that is if the other Ranger heads are indeed on ball joints. But again, you've got the same overall articulation. You've got the lateral and rotational shoulder joint with the bending elbow and the pivoting wrist. For the most part, you got the legs. They only go out so far, as I mentioned, due to the skirt. It really limits its mobility, but you can still pull off some poses. Bends at the knee. You've got the boot swivel. Then, of course, you have the head rotation. Due to its ball joint, I now know that you can nod yes, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to have to actually go back through the other Rangers and see for sure whether they're on ball joints or not. Given the fact that it shares a mold for the most part with the Yellow Ranger, I'm going to assume that the Yellow Ranger does in fact have the ball joint for the neck. Now with the weapons, you still have the same blade blaster with the peg on the side for the hole in the hip, and that much has not changed. Then you have her specific weapon, the power bow. No sort of string-like structure. I imagine with this scale it would be easy to break if it were there anyhow. No arrow that I know of. Of course, I don't really recall there being any arrows in the original toys, so I'm not sure if it should have one or not. But anyway, that's pretty much all it is. There's no connectivity to any of the other weapons, as we've already established. One thing that kind of piques my curiosity a little bit is these two little knobs up here on the tips of the bow. I don't know how well you can see them. There's one at each end. So I'm going to scoot that over a little bit so you can see. I don't know if those have any purpose or if they're just there as part of the bow. Again, I didn't have a Pink Ranger years back, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. But that's pretty much it for the Pink Ranger. Same accessories, just a different bow and a different head with the addition of a skirt. Overall, I would give this probably a 5 out of 10, a little lower than the rest. Not that pink is necessarily a bad color. I mean, it's Superman's favorite color if you remember the old movies. I'll not get into that though. So much as just the skirt really limits the posability. These figures do have decent articulation. More than some of the previous incarnations of these same characters. However, it's just not as fun if you can't do a high kick or something, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with a 5 out of 10. Also of note, the joints, as we previously discussed, are pink plastic, just like the Yellow Ranger. They are not the metal rivets. So they do match the uniform better and are not nearly as noticeable as the others on the male counterparts. That's pretty much it for the Pink Ranger. Nothing real special or fancy. I guess we'll see you again next time for my next review. That will be the last Power Ranger out of the original 5. It will be the Black Ranger. I hope to have that review to you here in the next couple of hours or so. So just keep watching. Bye.